So we got some breaking NASCAR news today. Brian France was arrested last night. He blew a .18, so DUI, and also was arrested with Oxycodone, so we got a drug charge as well. So the charges read off aggravated driving while intoxicated and criminal possession of a controlled substance in the 7th degree. He was in possession of Oxycodone. In the aftermath of this, he has been forced to take an indefinite leave of absence from the CEO of NASCAR. Jim France will be stepping in and taking over for him as the Chief Executive Officer and Operator of NASCAR for the time being. NASCAR has released in a statement that this is a very serious problem and issue that they will be looking into, and the only other information that NASCAR itself gave us was that Jim France will be taking over for Brian France for the time being. We'll see what this comes down to, but it's definitely a breaking story and something major and probably breaking. Definitely you would call it breaking. The question is, will he come back as CEO? Will he be permanently ousted? Obviously, you see in the NASCAR community, a lot of people speak negatively towards him before this, so this really just solidified his negative view of that the NASCAR community has of him. So that's definitely something that they're going to have to keep in mind. Obviously, NASCAR is a family-owned business, so he's not the only person who makes decisions in the company. As I said, Jim France will be taking over for him, so it all comes from there. It's going to be how the sport does under his leadership. As I said, NASCAR has said this is an indefinite leave of absence, and sometimes indefinite means permanent, sometimes it means just temporary, but sometimes it does mean permanent, so I'm willing to bet that he'll go into some sort of rehab, considering that NASCAR has the Road to Recovery program that drivers in the past have been forced to go into for far less than this, so I'd have to believe that he will be going into some sort of an equivalent program, because I guess at this point he needs it. Now, one thing I've heard people saying is he's human. Humans make mistakes. That's very true. They do make mistakes. We'll see what it comes down to with him. He's obviously in a very high position of a global sport that millions and millions of people watch, so you gotta keep in mind that sort of a public thing happening is not good news for the sport as far as public appeal and things like that. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind, why NASCAR is leaving him on an indefinite suspension. I believe it's a long-term indefinite suspension. I think he will eventually come back. I think the only path to him not coming back is if Jim France does something spectacular and NASCAR fans are like, ooh, Brian France is not in charge, and some of them who have left come back. If that sort of thing happens, he might be permanently ousted, but unless that sort of scenario happens where the ratings just rebound because of Jim France and something he does, I can't imagine him not coming back, period. But like I said, there's always the potential of Jim France doing something spectacular and him taking over for a while, and then maybe Brian France will come back in a couple of years. It could be a couple multi-year indefinite suspension, or it could be a temporary one till the end of the season, or it could be a month. We don't know. This is all just speculation as far as how long he'll be gone, how long Jim France is replacing him for. Jim France is not a speculation. He is replacing him, like I said, in this NBC Sports article. It does say Jim France, 73, is the son of the NASCAR founder, William H.J. France. He was the vice chairman / executive vice president of NASCAR and is the chairman of the board at the International Speedway Corp. Jim France founded the Grand Am road racing in 1999 and played a role in the merger of that series with the American Le Mans Series in 2012 into what is now known as the International Motorsports Association. Police stated that the Brian France 56 was observed operating a 2017 Lexus northbound on Main Street and failed to stop at a posted stop sign upon the traffic stop. According to the release, police determined that France was operating the vehicle in an intoxicated condition. Police stated that a search revealed that France was in possession of oxycodone pills. That's the what I said earlier. And France had 5 yellow pills that were determined to later be oxycodone, so they weren't even in a bottle, which is always not a good thing. Usually means you bought them. I mean, maybe he has a prescription, he keeps them with him, but from what that sounds, that's what you get out of it. So I just wanted to let you guys know, this was not any speculation. I'm reading this straight off an NBC Sports article, and I mean, I gave my own opinion on some of it, but I just want you guys to know for sure that that is something that's happening. This is Brian France's statement so far. This is what he said in the statement. I apologize to our fans, our industry, and my family for the impact of my actions last night. Effective immediately, I'll be taking an indefinite leave of absence from my position to focus on my personal affairs. So, as you can see, it is kind of a decision of his own. Like I said, it could be a longer indefinite resignation if the other guy does really good. So, gotta keep that in mind. But that's what we got so far for news on Brian France being arrested in New York for a DWI. And yeah, so big NASCAR news. Sure to leave a like, subscribe below, click the notification bell. It's a NASCAR racing channel. You like NASCAR, you like racing, you'll like this channel. From NASCAR Heat 3 news to NASCAR Real World news to NASCAR racing to racing in general to virtual racing to NASCAR Heat 3. I do it all on this channel. I do it for you. With 1,300 fans so far who have very much enjoyed this channel. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell so every single time I upload, and any new developments on this will be out. There's another NASCAR Heat 3 video up as well right now you guys can be sure to check out. I just also want to give a real quick clarification, by the way. There's a video far back from NASCAR being for sale. It's a minority stake, so it's actually not the whole company for sale. I just want to clarify that real quick. So yeah, that sums it up, guys. Be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell. I've reiterated it 3 times, and I'll see you in the next video. And until next time.